Well, good morning from Capetown. It's the 10th of January and we are slowly going to depart on our way to St. Helena Island. Not much wind, it was very foggy here this morning. A lot of the boats have decided to stay on an extra day or two. So it looks like we'll be on our own heading out. I think we're going to be motoring for a fair bit, unfortunately. But it's lovely and sunny, and when the wind comes it'll be behind us. We've about 1,700 miles to do, and it's probably going to take us between 9 and 10 days to get there. There's no pontoons, no marinas in St. Helena. It's all buoys or anchor, and it can be quite rolly there. It is really quite far out on its own. It's quite remote, but it's meant to be a lovely island, so we're looking forward to seeing there, getting off the boat and having a look around and see where Napoleon was tied up for a while, and seeing the oldest tortoise in the world apparently. But yeah, all good here. Everyone's had a very good Christmas. Everyone's relaxed. A lot of people went home. Some people went on safaris, and I think people have actually got quite used to being back on land again. I think they're finding it hard to sort of rev themselves to get going. The fleet is going on from St. Helena to Ascension on to Brazil, and they finish up in Antigua. But we're going to sort of head up towards Palma, and that's where the end destination is for this boat. So we'll go up to the Cape Verdes, and then we'll see what the weather's going to do after that, and get around and pick a good course. We'll probably have to go right out around the Canaries and come back in, and so on, because the winds will be probably against us most of the time. But anyway, that's for another day. So we'll get going with some camera work. Hopefully we'll get some nice shots for you, and sure, we'll chat to you later. Cheers. Oh, hi guys. What a lovely day. I think we're in what? Day 3? 4, 5. You lose count of the days here. Anyway, we're on our way to St. Helena. And it's glorious sunshine. We have some lovely trade winds behind us now, about 20 knots, and making good speed. So we should be there, hopefully maybe Wednesday. I think we've done about 700 miles so far. And we left on, what day do we leave?
Tuesday afternoon.
Tuesday afternoon. So, yeah, but you lose all perspective of time here. So, everyone on board is in good spirits. We've sort of settled down to a nice watch system. There's 5 of us on board. So at night time we're doing 2-hour watch systems, and during the day we're doing about 3. It seems to be working well. bit bumpy last night, but I think everyone's still getting a bit of sleep. So we've taken some nice shots of the boat and the wind and sea state and stuff like that, but this time we're going to do something a little different, and Mary's going to mention what we're going to have a crack at this time.
Okay, I just introduced myself. From Mary, Andrew's better half. I'm a chartered physiotherapist, and I've been working in musculoskeletal physiotherapy for over 30 years now. I also teach Pilates a couple of days a week, and my main basis for my therapies are manual therapy and exercise therapy. So I think when you get on a boat, especially on these long passages, most people find that keeping any level of fitness is very, very difficult. And really there's no need to feel that way. It's actually quite feasible if you set yourself up. In most weathers you can get a good routine done every day. I try and do at least an hour a day when I can, which is pretty much most of the time. But 30 minutes is sufficient to get the health benefits. Anything beyond 30, it tends to kind of plateau off in terms of the benefits for it. You don't need much kit. You just need to kind of walk away from being a bit self-conscious if no one else on the boat is exercising and you're the only one. And it puts an hour away as well, which on long passages I think is nice. I certainly enjoy it. I'd be lost without it. So I'm not going to do any classes. I'm just going to give you some ideas, and if there is any interest, I'd be more than happy to put together, say, 5 different classes that people could follow relative to the sea state and the wind and I suppose their level of fitness. I wouldn't be the fittest, but I do keep myself fit enough to do what I need to do because my job is quite difficult. So
yeah,
hope you like it.
So on the comments at the end of the video, you can just put in any comments, any recommendations, or if you have any questions on the fitness program. But it's always a challenge to keep a bit fit on a boat, particularly in these long passages. So we're going to give that a go. So anyway, hope you enjoy it. Chat to you later.
Today we're about 20 to 25 knots, wing on wing. So it's rolly, but not that rolly. So you have to modify what you're doing relative to your sea state, but quite honestly, I've done stuff in 35 knots. So it's just about knowing what's obviously safe to do in terms of staying on the boat and, you know, looking after your body as well. I bought this when I knew I was going to go away for 3 months and was a bit worried about maintaining my fitness. I have to be fit for work. It's called a suspension trainer. I think the original brand name is TRX. I got this in Decathlon for 20 euros. It's a great little bit of kit because from a boat point of view, it doesn't take any space. It literally rolls up into a tiny little bag that you can keep in your cabin. I like to attach it up on the foredeck to the spinnaker pole because I can get it much higher and it's a little bit more peaceful up there. But today, as you can see, it's a bit too rolly for a foredeck workout. So I'll just give you some examples of what I do. I can't do any single stance work because it is too rolly, but you can do plenty of double stance work and stay safe. The one thing to remember is the boat is going to go over, so when you're over, you need to know that you can hold on or you're going to give the crew a good man overboard exercise. So I'd lower myself down, hands into the straps, give it a good tug, make sure that that backstay is going to hold me. You would set your incline relative to what your strength is. So I'm going to wait for the boat to go over. I can hold that no bother. So I could probably step a little closer. This would be the classic beginner's TRX routine. Would be to hold yourself like so, elbows down by your side, and look up at your anchor and just do a squat. And as the boat goes over, I'm perfectly safe here. I'm having to work a little bit harder. And then I'm not pitching forward when she goes to windward because I have myself set up to be able to hold going over and back. So I do about 30 of those. You could make it a little bit more interesting by stepping closer in. Lower yourself into a straight elbow, then do your squat, and then row yourself in. So it's a lovely combination exercise. I'm getting a really good lower limb workout and a really good upper limb workout. So you could cheat, and when the boat comes up, you come up, or you could be harder on yourself and come up as the boat is over. So you can actually work the boat motion into making your routine more challenging or a little bit easier. 20 minutes on one of these really does give you a good workout. I could swap now, maybe make it a bit easier by stepping further and do biceps work. So lower myself down, pull myself up. Nice little upper limb routine. I can do my upper back, I can do a row. Again, looking at my anchor, boat's gone over, I go over, boat comes up, I come up, easy way. Boat goes over, I come up, hard way. You can choose your poison relative to what your energy is like. You can also do modified planks. Again, be careful with this. Make sure you have the strength that when she's over, there she is over, that you can actually hold yourself. This is a good core workout. And I come forward. Boat's going to go over. I go over. Hold as the waves hold us down, and then come back up. Really good modified plank. I could do some calf work, so I can hold myself in the plank, up on my tippy toes, drop down, up and lower. If you want to avoid Achilles tendinopathy, you'd want to routinely be doing about 40 of these, because you don't really get to walk much when you're on a boat. So I would do about 40 of these every single day, and then I would do about 30 singles, which I can't do on the TRX. I can really challenge myself by walking right into it, going right forward again. Now I know I can hold myself. I'm going to wait for the boat to go over. Over she goes. Can I hold that? Yeah, I can. It's hard, but I can. And then I can do forward squats like so. Really good for your hips and your back and your thighs. I'm up on my toes, calves are working. I'm having to work my core a bit because the boat's moving a lot and my base is obviously quite narrow and unstable. That's a lovely one. You can do press ups. Again, wait for the boat to go over. That's her. Over she goes. Choose my angle and I can do a modified press up. Over she goes. Can I hold it? Yes, I can. How useful small little piece of kit can be in 25 knots downwind. No bother. You can add in with a bit of music, make it a little bit more interesting. I'll show you a rotator cuff workout with TheraBands tomorrow. Then I could do an osteoporosis one. Again, really, really important. Even if you are in a boat, to look after your bones. So I can do another one another day. Thanks for watching. And today I'm going to talk to you about resistance training with bands. A lot of people think of strength work, they think of weights, but it's not very practical on a boat because you're going to need to bring at least 5 or 10 kgs with you, and that's going to eat big time into your baggage allowance if you're flying out to the boat. I also would worry that they would roll on the deck and either damage the deck or the deck fittings, or worse, someone's toes. So I wouldn't be a big fan of using weights on a boat. They could also roll off and just plunk in the sea, and then it's bye-bye weights. So I use these guys. And again, I picked these up and tried Decathlon. This one is a 33. The orange one is a 33 kg band. So you can adjust it for lots of lower limb work like squats. I use that quite a bit lying down or standing. These 3 come in a box of 5. They are 5 kg, 6 kg and 7 kg. And again, I got those in Decathlon. I would use the black one for doing squats. I'd put it around my legs, like so. Step in, step out, and then you can do an awful lot of hip strength work with the band, double stance, or I can do single stance work, and that's pretty tough. So you're getting a really good hip and leg workout with that one. That's the 7 kg one. The little blue one is only 5 kg, so I would use that for rotator cuff strengthening. I would say about 25% of my caseload is rotator cuff work, and that's really that people's length and tone goes out of their shoulders, starts happening at about 45, and it's just downhill from there. So I use this a lot. I give this to my patients a lot to do. It's one of my favorite exercises. It's a true range strength exercise, and it's just really, really good to maintain the health of your shoulders. There's other band is called, what we in the practice call TheraBand. We buy it by the roll. This is just brilliant. So what I was doing with this earlier was I did just wrap like that, and I was doing some posture work, because again, as we get older, down we go, and this feels quite comfortable, but it's just so bad for us. And if we strengthen our mid-back and come up tall, it keeps your posture and keeps your skeletal health. So something simple like this, tied onto your backstay, sit down so you're nice and secure, and just straight lat pull downs, and that's strengthening the muscles between my shoulder blade, and it's encouraging strength into the muscles that hold my posture up. You can make it a little bit harder, more challenging by bringing the elbows out. But again, that's nice and easy. I'm super secure here, even though today we have about a 1.5 to 2 meter sea. But as you can see, I'm nice and stable and able to do lots of really good stuff with this fella. These come in different strengths. This is medium strength. They go all the way up to quite strong. If you want to do specific rotator cuffs that I would routinely give people to do, I can just tie it onto the back of the seat. Adjust the length relative to the resistance I want, and I can do lots of internal and external rotation work. This would be end stage rehab. If you come to me with your shoulder, this is probably where we would finish you with this type of rotator work. Or we can do triceps, the old bingo wings, that type of work. So these little bands weigh nothing. They can do no harm to deck fittings and toes, and they're light and easy to carry. So I would strongly recommend them as part of a kit. Maximum you're going to end up spending is about €8 for everything that you saw that I have here. So that's for today, just an idea of what is possible on a downwind derby in the South Atlantic.
Birthday to you! Happy birthday to you!
Oh wow, look at this.
Happy birthday, dear Andrew! Happy birthday to you!
I wish I could be strong survival on my own, but now I'm
Oh, thank you very much.
I need somebody else to save me from myself. A love too precious to let go. I've been searching
do a lap. Welcome to St. Helena. We have finally made it. Morning swim before we clear. Check in. 8:30 in the morning here. Water seems to be nice. And this looks amazing.
Showing off for the camera.
You're showing off. Wow. Looking forward to doing some walking here. Looking around. There's Jamestown. A few boats here. We managed to get our boy last night in the dark, which was great. So, this will be the end of this video, and hopefully we'll do a couple more of St. Helena, where we see Napoleon's house and a couple of other bits and pieces, including the oldest tortoise in the world. Bye for now.